Big stories, big pressure, big nights at Anfield. This is Anfield Central, your home for the latest Liverpool news, transfers and sharp analysis. No noise, just what matters to real Reds. So if you love Liverpool, hit subscribe and stay ahead of every story. Let's get into it. Saudi Pro League steps up its efforts to bring Mohamed Salah to the Middle East, with plans advancing behind the scenes ahead of a potential summer move. Salah will have just 1 year remaining on his Liverpool contract this summer, a deal signed in April last year that made him the highest paid player in the club's history, earning around £400,000 per week. However, the timing of this renewed Saudi push comes amid a dramatic dip in form. The 33-year-old is currently enduring a 10-game Premier League goal drought, and with just 7 goals in 29 appearances this season, he is on course for his lowest-ever campaign in a Liverpool shirt. That downturn has accelerated speculation over his future. Last month, reports suggested Salah was deep in discussions over a move to Saudi Arabia, a proposal that would not only offer a blockbuster salary, but also an ambassadorial role, and even the opportunity to own a stake in one of the league's clubs. Now, sources indicate the Saudi Pro League is ready to formalize its approach, but with strict limits on the transfer fee. Despite a staggering £150 million bid from Al-Ittihad back in 2023, Saudi officials are now only prepared to reimburse Liverpool the original £36.9 million they paid Roma for Salah in 2017. They are unlikely to go beyond that figure, given the scale of wages they are prepared to commit. Liverpool's decision to hand Salah a record-breaking extension last year protected the club from losing him on a free transfer, but it also leaves them facing a delicate financial and sporting calculation. There are no reported regrets over the £20.8 million annual salary agreed, yet a parting of ways this summer could now suit all sides. The Saudi Pro League sees Salah as a cornerstone figure, arguably the most influential Muslim footballer of his generation, and are determined to position him alongside the global icons already playing in the division. The proposed package would make him one of the highest-paid players in world football, comparable to Cristiano Ronaldo, while also removing his substantial wages from Liverpool's books. For now, formal negotiations between the clubs have not yet begun. Meanwhile, Salah's sudden decline has left former Liverpool defender Steve Nicol visibly stunned. Speaking on ESPN, Nicol admitted he had never witnessed such a sharp drop-off from a player of this caliber. "I've never seen this. How somebody can go from the top of the mountain and just disappear so quickly is absolutely scary." He questioned whether it was confidence, age, or irrevocable decline, and even suggested Salah himself might struggle to explain it. As Salah approaches his 34th birthday, Liverpool must now decide whether to back their iconic forward for one more season or cash in while there is still value on the table. So here's the big question: should Liverpool accept a cut-price fee and move on this summer, or does Salah deserve one final chance to rediscover his form at Anfield? Tell me your thoughts in the comments section, and if you want more exclusive Liverpool updates, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. Michael OLlSE prefers La Liga move in major blow to Liverpool's Salah succession plan. Liverpool's long-term plan to replace Mohamed Salah has suffered a setback, with reports suggesting OLlSE would favour a move to Spain over a return to the Premier League. OLlSE has been one of Europe's standout wingers this season. The Bayern Munich star has already produced 13 goals and 20 assists, continuing the rapid rise that began during his breakout spell at Crystal Palace. Liverpool admire him deeply and view him as a natural successor to Salah, particularly given his blend of creativity and end product. However, according to reports, the Frenchman's preference is to test himself in La Liga rather than return to England. Even without that complication, any deal looked incredibly difficult. OLlSE is under contract at Bayern until 2029. The German champions have zero interest in selling, and the player himself is not pushing for a move. Bayern paid £51 million to sign him in 2024, but his valuation has likely more than doubled, meaning any transfer would comfortably exceed £100 million. If he were to leave, sources close to the player suggest his long-term ambitions point towards either Real Madrid or Barcelona. From Liverpool's perspective, OLlSE would be a stylistic fit. He mirrors Salah's productivity while offering even greater playmaking qualities, something that could complement the club's evolving attacking structure. With 2 high-level number 9s already recruited to eventually carry the goal-scoring burden, Liverpool's focus is as much about creativity as it is finishing. But if OLlSE OLlSE is off the table, attention may turn elsewhere. One emerging name is Yan Diomande, a 19-year-old prospect currently impressing at RB Leipzig. While far less established than OLlSE, Diomande is attracting attention across Europe and could command a record-breaking fee for Leipzig. Statistically, the gap is not enormous. Both have played 23 Bundesliga matches this season, with OLlSE registering 10 goals and 16 assists, compared to Diomande's 9 goals and 5 assists. Interestingly, Diomande has completed 81 successful dribbles, significantly more than OLlSE's 49, highlighting his explosive one-on-one ability. OLlSE may already be entering the world-class conversation, but Diomande's raw potential and directness suggest he would not be a poor alternative. So the question now is clear: should Liverpool wait and fight for OLlSE, or pivot early towards a younger, high-upside option like Diomande? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section, and if you enjoy in-depth Liverpool transfer analysis, make sure you like the video and subscribe for more updates.
Jeremy Jacquet's season looks to be over before it truly finished, with the incoming Liverpool centre-back now set to undergo surgery on a serious shoulder injury. The 20-year-old dislocated his shoulder during Rennes' 3-1 defeat to Lens on February 7th, and initially both player and club tried to avoid going under the knife. Nearly a month of rehabilitation work in the gym followed, as Jacquet remained determined to return without surgery. However, Rennes have now confirmed that an operation is required. According to West France, Liverpool allowed both the club and the player to make the final decision, but with no significant improvement, surgery became inevitable. It's a bitter setback for a young defender who had hoped to finish the season strongly with Stade Rennais FC and push for European qualification. Instead, his campaign is now expected to end prematurely, with Rennes' season concluding on May 16th and his chances of playing again rated as extremely slim. The timing is particularly frustrating, given Liverpool agreed a £60 million deal for Jacquet at the end of the winter transfer window. Now the focus shifts entirely to recovery ahead of his summer move to Merseyside. For a professional athlete, return to play after shoulder luxation surgery typically takes between 4 and 6 months. The first 6 weeks involves strict immobilization, with the arm kept in a sling to allow ligaments to heal properly. Between weeks 6 and 12, the sling is removed and physical therapy begins, focusing on restoring range of motion. Contact and heavy lifting remain prohibited during this phase. From months 3 to 4, the emphasis turns to strength and conditioning, particularly rebuilding the rotator cuff, while non-contact grass sessions can resume. Full contact training and match fitness work are generally reintroduced between months 5 and 6, once medical clearance is given. The positive for Liverpool is that if recovery goes smoothly, Jacquet could be ready in time for pre-season at the AXA training centre in July. However, there remains a possibility his rehabilitation stretches into the early weeks of the new campaign. Head coach Arne Slot is expected to reintegrate him cautiously, alongside other young options like Connor Bradley and potentially Giovanni Leone. If this was indeed his final appearance for Rennes, Jacquet leaves having made 33 senior appearances, establishing himself as a first-choice centre-back after progressing through the academy and impressing on loan at Clermont in League Two. Looking ahead, he is likely to begin life at Liverpool as a rotational option rather than an automatic starter. The club are still hopeful to securing Ibrahima Konate to a new long-term contract, which would keep him alongside Virgil van Dijk at the heart of defence. That added depth could give Slot greater flexibility next season. Meanwhile, Joe Gomez faces an uncertain summer, having previously attracted interest from AC Milan and with just 1 year remaining on his contract from July. So the big question for Liverpool fans is this: once fully fit, does Jacquet have what it takes to challenge immediately, or should he be eased in slowly as a long-term project? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section, and if you enjoyed the update, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more Liverpool transfer news.
Liverpool's Marc Guéhi miss could cost £52 million as Reds consider a shock Quansah return. Liverpool's failure to sign Marc Guéhi last summer could now come back to haunt them and potentially cost more than £52 million. The Reds were close to sealing a £35 million deal with Crystal Palace, with personal terms agreed and negotiations progressing smoothly. But the move collapsed late on, reportedly after Palace boss Oliver Glasner threatened to walk if his captain was not properly replaced. Fast forward 6 months, and Guéhi is now a Manchester City player, strengthening their defence as they continue their push to wrestle the Premier League title from Arsenal.
What made the situation more painful for Liverpool was their decision to sell Jarell Quansah to Bayer Leverkusen without first securing an experienced replacement. Although Giovanni Leone arrived as a long-term prospect, Liverpool entered the season relying heavily on just two senior centre-backs, Ibrahima Konate and Virgil van Dijk. That gamble has not paid off, defensive inconsistencies have crept in, and Konate's contract situation remains unresolved, adding further uncertainty to the long-term picture. The club have already acted ahead of next season by signing Jeremy Jacquet for £60 million in January. The 20-year-old was pushing for a place in France's World Cup squad before a shoulder injury cut his campaign short. Ironically, that injury now means Jacquet will be available to report for pre-season from day one, giving him valuable time to adapt to English football and life at Anfield. But Jacquet may not be the only defensive addition this summer. According to Team Talk's transfer journalist Graham Bailey, Liverpool are intensifying their assessment over a potential shock reunion with Quansah. Bailey reports that Liverpool scouts have attended Leverkusen's last 4 matches, during which the German side conceded just once. Quansah's performances have reportedly impressed hugely. Crucially, it's understood that if Quansah expresses interest in returning, Leverkusen would not stand in his way. The deal, which is valued at €60 million, around £52.5 million, could be brought forward. And that's where the sting lies for Liverpool. The money required to bring Quansah back could effectively mirror the amount they once agreed for Guéhi, a deal that slipped through their fingers. So now the question for Liverpool fans is simple. Should the club pay £52 million to bring Quansah back, or would that money be better invested elsewhere in defence? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section, and if you're enjoying these updates, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more Liverpool transfer news.
Inter Milan submit €15 million offer for Ibrahima Konate as Liverpool push to keep defender. Ibrahima Konate has emerged as a serious transfer target for Inter Milan, with the Serie A giants already making a formal move in January. Reports from Italy initially suggested Inter were confident about their chances, believing that a €15 million offer could be enough due to Konate's contract situation at Liverpool. The French centre-back's current deal runs out this summer, placing his future firmly in the spotlight. Inter viewed him as a potential successor to Stefan de Vrij, who had been expected to leave the club. With defensive changes looming, the Nerazzurri saw Konate as a strategic opportunity. According to L'Interista, Inter did in fact submit a €15 million bid in January. Despite early optimism, that offer was rejected by Liverpool. The reason is clear: the Reds are determined to keep Konate beyond this season. Negotiations over a new contract are ongoing, and Liverpool's stance has complicated Inter's plans significantly. However, Inter have not walked away. They remain in contact with Konate's entourage, monitoring developments closely and ready to react if contract talks at Anfield stall. The situation is further complicated by interest from other European clubs, adding competition to what was already a delicate pursuit. From Inter's perspective, the logic is obvious. With both Francesco Acerbi and de Vrij potentially departing, head coach Christian Chivu will need to refresh his backline with younger options. Landing a defender of Konate's quality, potentially on a free transfer if no new deal is signed, would represent a major coup, especially given the financial realities of Serie A. Inter have built a reputation for capitalizing on these kinds of market opportunities. Securing Konate would fit perfectly within that model. For Liverpool, though, losing a 26-year-old defender entering his prime would be a significant blow. The coming months will now determine whether he remains a key figure at Anfield or becomes one of the most attractive free agents on the European market.
Liverpool predicted excise versus Wolves as Frimpong and McAllister decisions loom. Liverpool return to Molineux tonight, chasing a 4th consecutive Premier League victory as Wolverhampton Wanderers await at the bottom of the table. It's the first of 2 meetings at the same stadium in just a few days, with Arne Slot set to bring his side back on Friday for an FA Cup 5th round clash. With 6 matches in 19 days ahead, squad management is already becoming a key theme. A 5-2 win over West Ham United lifted lifted Liverpool to 5th, and with Aston Villa and Manchester United not in action until Wednesday, victory could temporarily move the Reds as high as 3rd. So how might Slot set up? Ian Doyle expects continuity, but with one key change at right back. Jeremy Frimpong could replace Joe Gomez, offering rotation and added attacking thrust. Behind him, Alisson Becker remains in goal, with Ibrahima Konate and Virgil van Dijk anchoring central defence, and Milos Kerkez at left-back. In midfield, Doyle keeps Ryan Gravenberch and Alexis McAllister deeper, with Dominic Szoboszlai operating as the number 10. Up front, it's Mohamed Salah on the right, Cody Gakpo on the left, and Hugo Ekitike through the middle. Mark Jones agrees on Frimpong's inclusion, pointing to his cameo against West Ham, where his pace and direct running stretched the opposition and helped create the 5th goal. While Gomez was steady, Jones believes Frimpong offers a sharper attacking outlet and extra pace, something that could complement Salah, whose explosive burst isn't quite what it once was. Elsewhere, he expects minimal changes for this league encounter, with heavier rotation more likely in Friday's FA Cup rematch. Richard Garnett also brings Frimpong back in, highlighting his width and speed as major assets. However, he tweaks the midfield slightly. Instead of McAllister sitting deep, Garnett would push the Argentine forward into a more advanced role, alongside Gravenberch and Szoboszlai behind the front three. With Gakpo and Ekitike both finding goals at the weekend, the spotlight now turns to Salah. Is this the night he ends his recent drought? Slot must balance momentum with freshness, knowing this is just the start of an intense run. 3 points tonight could shift the table, but selection decisions may shape much more than just this fixture. And if you enjoyed the update, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more Liverpool FC news.